As part of efforts to support the federal government's plans to achieve net zero carbon emission in Nigeria by 2060, a coalition of civil society organizations in Lagos have tasked journalists to raise public awareness on cutting carbon emissions in the country to net zero. The one-day media training and interactive session, which involved a presentation on net zero emission by climate and environmental experts, had organizers calling for more focus on energy transition from the use of greenhouse gases to renewable energy by the government. This next report has more details.
The President had a first-of-its-kind press conference organized by the Center for 21st Century Issues, International Climate Change Development Initiative and Connected Advocacy on raising awareness of cutting carbon emissions to net zero emission in Nigeria as executive directors of the three collaborating organizations, environmental experts and concerned citizens. Cutting down carbon emissions to net zero has been on the front burner in Nigeria, with past administrations making commitments and pledges to cut down emissions. The former President Muhammadu Buhari-led government had in November 2021 announced that Nigeria, alongside other world's largest energy exporters, will eliminate planet warming emission by 2060. These warnings need to be reiterated, and the International Climate Change Development Initiative Africa has called on the media and local communities at this event tagged VANS Nigeria project to develop strategies in adopting renewable energy transition plans.
Everyone is talking about carbon neutrality. That simply implies that net zero emission, that is what the entire world should drive to. And in talking about that, you recall we are developing the long-term low emission development strategy that will enable Nigeria to follow that trajectory. And so that is all that we're doing, and interestingly, we're reaching out to every stakeholders. I also had mentioned earlier that we developed a long-term vision which was submitted to the UNFCCC Secretariat, and that became part of the synthesis report released by that Secretariat last year before COP27. And now we're developing this strategy that will assist us in ensuring that we're able to decarbonize our economy. But of course, while decarbonizing our economy, we also want to recognize that there is need to build climate resilience.
Offering solutions to avert future catastrophes, organizers of the event say its collaboration with private sectors will achieve the Paris Agreement made by the government.
There's no sector that is not affected or that is not going to be, left out when it comes to the net zero issue in this country, because the kind of population, the kind of growth that we are seeing now in our development, we need to see how we can reduce drastically our emission. And that is why net zero will be discussed in all these sectors, whether you are in oil and gas, agriculture, energy, transportation. So it's very, very important.
If we don't reduce greenhouse gas emissions into the atmosphere, then we may not be able to stop catastrophic climate change. So it's an alarming sign to all of us that it is not only about developed countries only, it is also about developing countries. All of us must contribute to reducing carbon emissions so that we will not suffer the impacts of climate change.
Summing up the event, the civil society organizations urged the public to take actions for deep emission reduction in Nigeria, as it would help grow the Nigerian economy. Tamilore Akinkolia, TV 360 Nigeria.